Hi friends. So today is Tuesday, which means my husband is home, so I'm not technically making a video today, but I am going to put some segments together so that you can see what I am eating on days when I don't normally film. And normally I would have filmed this morning on the way home from taking my son to school, but he did not have school today because our whole area is covered in a sheet of ice. So I had breakfast this morning. I had 2 of the Ezekiel toast for 4 points, 2 points worth of avocado, so that's 6. I had some pineapple, and then I had a coffee in here. I had half of a vanilla Premier protein in there and 1 tablespoon of the sugar-free peppermint mocha. So my coffee was 1. So altogether that is 7 points for breakfast. And I have a little public service announcement as far as lunch goes. So any of my Weight Watcher friends, we are all fans of the light Progresso soup. So I opened it up, and one cup is considered 2 points. 2 cups is considered 4 points. If you put 18 ounces, hold on. Okay, so hold on a minute. If you put 18 ounces, which is what is on the can on the bottom, it comes out as 4 points. But when I went to the tracker and I changed the unit of measurement from cups to ounces, you can get 12 ounces for 2 points. So I measured my bowl. Then I put the soup in. I took all the innards of the soup out first and put them in the bowl, and then I filled the can up with the bowl up with liquid until it read 12 ounces. This bowl is full. There is quite a lot in there, and right here, this much of the can now has just broth. I used a fork and scooped out all of the stuff inside. So for any of you who are just automatically counting 4 points for a whole can of soup, it may be way off, because you can't tell me that this much broth is worth 2 extra points. And I don't need it in my soup. All of the noodles and vegetables are in here, and there's plenty of liquid in there to have a bowl of soup. So even though I kind of feel bad throwing away this liquid, it's not worth 2 extra points for me. If the can was still half full of noodles and stuff, that wouldn't be...
Now can I tell them?
Just a minute. I would totally understand, but there's nothing in here but broth, and chicken broth is supposed to be 0 points. So I'm going to eat this 2-point bowl of soup, and I'm going to pour this broth in with my kids' chicken and stars and call it a day. So I just wanted to show you guys that, because I've never actually measured out a can of soup by weight either. I would just count 4 points for this whole can, and I'm glad that I measured it out. I am having the bowl of soup, and then I have a 4-point grilled cheese. I have 2 pieces of the Pepperidge Farm 45 calorie soft wheat bread and 2 pieces of the fat-free singles from Walmart. That is 2 points. So 4 points, 6 points for lunch, and I think that's a pretty big lunch. Okay, Grayson wants to show you his. What are you having today?
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese.
Soup.
Soup.
And what else?
What are these? What are they called? I think they're called cheese doodles.
Dear God, cheese doodles.
Cheese doodles for a snow day. Okay, we're gonna go eat.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good morning, my friends. How are you? Happy Wednesday. Oh, so we got to have a snow day yesterday, even though there was no snow. It's been really wet this weekend, and it got down to like 27 degrees yesterday and the night before. So we thought it was really funny. When we got up yesterday morning, it was raining, but it was fine. And then well, I guess it was actually a little warmer than that yesterday when we got up around 5:30. And we got a phone call at 6 saying school was canceled due to possible bad weather. And we have lots of back dirt roads and stuff that the school buses and have to travel on. So I can understand that, you know, most of the time. And then all of a sudden, it dropped in temperature and everything turned to a glare sheet of ice. Everything. There was ice all over the top of our cars, like our doors were iced shut. And not just like frosted shut, but like iced shut, because everything that was wet instantly turned to ice. It was crazy. And then in the afternoon it warmed up and started raining again. So we got a good snow day at home. I had my first complete great day in a long time. I got a workout in. Hold on a minute, okay? I'll be right back. I'm sorry, guys. So there was a cop, had somebody pulled over on the side of the road, and where my son goes to school, the road is really narrow. I didn't want the cop to see the camera going. I don't really know what all the laws are about that. But yeah, so then I had to run into the store and grab a couple of things. I think I was saying that I had my first really good day yesterday in a long time. Like, I stuck 100% to plan. My biggest the biggest thing I've been doing lately is I've been getting really back into like the snacky, like picking a bite or 2 or 3 from my kids' food or from snacks that are lying around. And I had really worked hard to get out of that, and I was doing really well. And then I think the pickiness of the preparing for the holiday and Thanksgiving and how everything is just kind of grab and go really got to me. And so last week I had a really hard time, like with those little nibble bits. I just wanted to snack on everything, and I didn't count anything. I didn't track one thing in my planner last week, and I only tracked maybe 40% of the rest of it in my app. Like, I didn't track any of my steps. I didn't track any of my food. It was just a really bad week, and I'm up like 6 or 7 pounds from where I was at the beginning of November, and it's just time to get back into gear. So I have done workouts 2 days in a row. I feel really great about that. I stayed 100% to plan yesterday. I'm trying, just until I can get to goal, I'm trying to limit my mindless carbs. I'm okay with having a piece of toast or 2 or oatmeal or grits for breakfast. I burn off that food, but it's the other food, the chips, the crackers, the veggie sticks, all those mindless eating things, goldfish. My kids love goldfish, and I constantly find myself snacking on them. From now on, hopefully I can stick to only popcorn as a source of nibble bits for me, because if I eat a whole bowl of air popped popcorn with a little butter spray on it, it's not anything near what eating a whole bag of popcorn would be. And I mean a whole bag of chips or crackers or something like that. And I seem to be having a really hard time limiting myself to the quantity that I set forth. I always go back. Corn chips have been a big deal for me. I'm going back to just buying the tortilla strips for my salads or soups, because when I have corn chips in the house, I just want to eat them. And it all started because of Thanksgiving. We bought corn chips to go with the dip that we brought, and we only used 1 bag at Thanksgiving. This was a couple weeks ago, not the Thanksgiving we just had, but the Thanksgiving we had with my family. So we had a whole bag, and when that bag was gone, I went and bought some more, and it's just too much for me. So I'm okay with carbs from fruits and vegetables. I'm okay with carbs from toast or bread as a meal, not as a snack. I know that my meals I burn off. So yesterday was really good. I chose, we had some ground turkey taken out, and my husband decided he wanted just like a baked pasta dish. I had mine over spaghetti squash, so I had this huge plate of dinner. I had a whole half of a summer spaghetti squash. I had 2 ounces. I had 3 ounces measured out of the ground turkey, which was only 1 point, and I only ate half of it, so I'm not really sure if that's 1 point still or none. Doesn't really matter. I used homemade marinara sauce from my husband's restaurant, which is 0 points because it is just, they make it in like a huge stock pot, and my husband says they only use like a tablespoon of oil in the very bottom to start their onions, and this probably makes 100 servings, at least the size that I had. So it was 0 because it's just tomatoes, garlic, and onions and spices, and that's it. So I had that with the spaghetti squash. So I had this half of my plate was only 1 point. And then I had asparagus and broccoli and cauliflower that I counted 1.4 for the olive oil that I put over all of it. So I had a 2-point dinner, and it was huge. It filled my whole supper plate. So I felt very satisfied. For lunch, I did indulge a little. I'm going to include a little clip of me talking about the soup I had for lunch, but I will reiterate here in case I forget. My kids wanted chicken noodle soup and grilled cheese for lunch, and it was a perfect day because it was so wet and cold outside. So I made them just some Campbell's chicken and stars soup and grilled cheese. Well, the grilled cheese looked so good that I decided I'd have soup and sandwich for lunch too. So I had a can of the Progresso chicken and vegetable with rosemary or whatever it was. When I looked the can up, it said 1 cup was 2 points and 2 cups was 4 points. Or the 18 ounces that were in the can was 4 points, which isn't a lot for a whole can of soup. But I said, well, 4 points on top of a grilled cheese is kind of a heavy lunch for me. So I opened the can, I put my bowl on my scale, zeroed my bowl out. I took all of the guts, the noodles, the vegetables, everything like that, put it in the bowl. And then I had looked in my tracker on my Weight Watchers app on the computer, and it said I could have 12 ounces of the soup for 2 points. So I took all of the guts out of the can, and then I poured broth until I hit 12 ounces. It was a huge bowl of soup with plenty of liquid, and there was literally a third of a cup of liquid left in the can. So if I had eaten the whole can and counted it as 4 points, I would have been gypped. And I know it's only 2 points and it's not that big of a deal, but if you're doing it every day, or if you're having soup on a day when you want to stay low point because you want to have a meal out, or you're going somewhere for dinner or something, you could have an extra 2 points to play with at dinner time just by doing that. I didn't feel bad. I actually threw the rest of the broth that was in the can into the leftovers from the soup that my kids had for lunch, and my daughter can eat it for lunch today, so I didn't throw it away. But I had a whole can minus a little tiny bit of the broth, which is supposed to be 0 points, and I was able to have that for only 2 points. So I saved myself 2 points, which I obviously had plenty of. I had plenty of points yesterday, but I had never actually weighed it out. And I weigh almost everything out, but I had never weighed the soup out. I just said, oh, well, a whole can of soup is 4 points. But it's a big fat lie. There are other things that I do that too. I like to buy, I know Jess from Weight Watchers Journey to Healthy buys them a lot. The big bags with the little bags of the Smart Food popcorn in it, the little individual size. And each bag is supposed to be 2 points. You can have 2 cups for 2 points. And most of the time that I have ever done it, there's literally not more than a cup in those bags. But they do it by weight. So I have measured the popcorn out in those little bags, and it's always only 1 point. So it's really strange. And if you're questioning the foods that you're eating, I do that a lot when I'm eating out. I think restaurants provide a caloric and nutritional info to Weight Watchers, but I don't think Weight Watchers takes into account that probably the caloric information that the restaurant provides includes things like vegetables and fruits and, you know, things like that. So, or chicken broth or anything like that. So when I'm eating out, I try to give myself a few points as a grace, like for anything oils or, you know, sauces and stuff that I can't really figure out, but I try to pull everything apart. How much chicken is actually in the salad? How much wonton strips or tortilla strips or whatever, how much beans is in there? I try to pull it apart, and normally it takes quite a lot off of the points that the Weight Watchers app is charging for food. So my advice to you, especially for those of us who have been on plan for a long time, for new people on this plan, it may be kind of hard, but we know what, I mean, and I know you can get kind of lazy and your amounts kind of can get off, but you can eyeball a half a cup. Or you know if it's only a quarter of a cup versus a half or 2/3 of a cup. Like, I can visualize that. I'm like, there's no way there's enough here for the beans to be 5 points. I think Melody was talking about that in her video. We get to this place where we think we know what everything is. She's been charging herself 3 points for a half a cup of fat-free refried beans for a long time, and when she finally looked it up yesterday, it was only 1 point. So I think we're cheating ourselves out of points here and there by just assuming. So I have restarted with this whole renewal that I'm in right now. I have started re-weighing everything, and it makes me feel better. And I know that our weight can fluctuate a lot, but I am only on Wednesday and I weighed in on Monday, and as of today, this morning, I'm already down 3 pounds from where I was on Monday. Some of that is probably water, some of it will probably go back up because our bodies suck and they're never consistent, but I know that I'm doing things that are making my body feel better, and that is what this is all about. Last week I felt like garbage. I slept like garbage. I felt like garbage. I wasn't moving the way that I should. My body hurt. So I feel good. That was the whole point of this story, is that yesterday I had a really good day and I feel amazing today because of it. So another good day ahead of us. I actually managed to get pictures of everything that I ate yesterday, so I will include that with this whole video. I will try to upload that tonight, and I will be back to making daily vlogs tomorrow, which is Thursday. So yeah, today is going to be another good day. It is rainy and miserable, but it is warm. It's 42 degrees right now, so it's a lot warmer than it was yesterday. So if it clears up even more, maybe I can get out and go for a little walk or something outside. So yeah, another good day behind us. We're going to keep pushing forward. So I'm going to go. I'm almost home, and I'm going to have breakfast because I'm starving. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, guys. Bye.